Now it's there. So this is a general change of base formula. Yes, this is useful at times, but I really think the base 10 and the ln ones are better. But if you have any log base a, you can rewrite it to any other base by just taking the log of that number on the bottom and the log of x on the top for whatever base that you want. What base do we want? We want the numbers on our calculator. So we want to change it to log base 10. And here's how I remember the formula. The base goes on the bottom. So I can take log of a on the bottom, and then the x goes on the top. And I didn't put a number here, but remember, that's your common log. That's log base 10. So now, if I give you a logarithm to solve, you can always change it and get a decimal. What do you think about that? You seem unimpressed, but it's a very cool thing. And you can also do it with ln, because ln is just base e, so you can still put the base on the bottom, but log base e we write as ln, so we can say ln of a on the bottom, ln of x on the top. So on your test and on your homework today, they ask you to rewrite it using a different log and then to use your calculator. And on your test, I'll ask you the same thing. So I want to see the formula, and then I want to see the decimal, like this. Unless you had one of those sneaky calculators that already does log base 5, up until this point, you haven't been able to do log base 5 of 89. Look, I'll just move this up so you can all see. Like this. Because this is like saying 5 to the what power equals 89. I don't know, it's a decimal. But now we can rewrite it, and we can use our calculators. It says write as log base 10, so that means it's telling us to use that middle formula, and the base goes on the bottom. So that means I know that it's log of 5 on the bottom, log of 89 on the top, and you can just type that in your calculator. Log 89 divided by log 5, and you give me the answer. On your quiz or your test, I need to see both of these. I need to see that, and I need to see your decimal. If you're typing this all at once on your calculator, be careful with your parentheses, right? On my calculators, at least, when you type log, it automatically puts a parenthesis. So you need to close that parenthesis before you divide, otherwise it'll take the log of the whole thing. And you should be able to see if your answer is reasonable. 89 is between 5 squared and 5 to the third. Do you agree with me on that? So your answer should be somewhere between 2 and 3. And did you get the answer between 2 and 3? Yes. Log 5. 3 decimal places. That should be about 2.789 is your answer. Why didn't I teach it on the first day, huh?
I don't think there's any such thing as a sneaky calculator.
I used to call them illegal calculators.
Illegal calculator.
Illegal.
No such thing.
Illegal.
Unless they want to sell them.
Like I have tests that say no illegal calculators allowed. My other name I have for them are cheating calculators, so you know, I think sneaky is the best one.
Yeah. Maybe sneaky, but definitely not cheating. No such thing.
So this one's a little trickier just because it has the square roots in there. But same idea, right? We could write this, the base on the bottom, so log square root of 2 on the bottom, log square root of 5 on the top. And again, if you're typing this all at once, just be careful of your parentheses, because on my calculator, the square root puts a parenthesis there too. So when you do log, it does a parenthesis. When you do square root, it does a parenthesis. So technically, you should close both of those. Cora pointed out to me that she could just do log 5 and hit enter, and then divide by log square root of 2, and you get the same answer, and you don't have to worry about your parentheses. She's right. So it's your choice how you want to do it. But just be careful. People always say, I typed in my calculator, and my calculator gave me the wrong answer. Your calculator does what you tell it to do, so you are in charge of what your calculator does. Log square root of 5 divided by log square root of 2. I got 2.322. Did you get that? Anybody having calculadora issues? My Spanish is very random. I don't have very much of it. I try to teach Parker some Spanish, and then he asked me random words I don't know the answer to. But calculadora, computadora, biblioteca. I got those down. Okay. Here's the. Oh, what if we do this with ln? We could do that, right? It says write using natural log. Natural log means ln. So instead of using log base 10, Could I do ln of 18 over ln of 5? And what's crazy is if you do ln of 18 over ln of 5, you get the same answer as if you did log base 10 of 18 over log base 10 of 5. Isn't that wacky? I mean, I think so, but how do you know which one to do? It says in the directions. Natural log means you do the ln. And I get 1.796. Yes, no, maybe? What about this one? Again, the base goes on the bottom. I really feel like that's a helpful hint to remember this rule. Bad thing is if you mix that up, you're going to get the wrong answer. But this would be ln of e on the top and ln of pi on the bottom, which means we could even simplify this before we type in our calculator, because what is ln of e? 1. You don't have to, but I just like to point out that you can simplify that as 1 divided by ln of pi. And I get 0.874. Did you get that? Any clue what I'm saying? Are you alive out there? All right. The real big properties that I want to go over with you are the ones that relate to breaking up logarithms, because those are very helpful when we're solving equations. So that's what the rest of our notes are about. Here we go. We're going to write these properties of logarithms. They're the same properties for log base A or natural logarithms. I just like to give you both of them. And the idea is that, remember, the answer to a logarithm is an exponent. So the rules here, or the properties, go right along with the rules of exponents. So think about your exponent rules. When you multiply, what do you do with the exponents? You add them together. And so when you see a log or an ln of multiplication, you can break that apart as addition, because exponent rule is multiplication equals adding the exponents. So if you see log a of something times something, u times v, you can break that up as log base a of u plus log base a of v. So multiplication breaks up as addition. And the same thing applies for ln. It's just ln of u plus ln of v. And most of your homework today is either breaking it up into this, or it's already broken up and you're putting it back together. So we got 3 big properties here. Multiplication breaks up as addition. Division, think about the rule for dividing exponents. What do we do when we divide exponents? We subtract. So when we see division in a logarithm, we can break that up as subtraction. So we could write this as log base a of u minus log base a of v, or ln of u minus ln of v. I don't remember if I said this in here or not, but I really recommend writing ln as a cursive L so you don't get it confused as 1. So I don't get it confused as 1 when I'm grading it. Addition, multiplication goes to addition, division goes to subtraction, and then this is the last one, an exponent. What exponent rule does this go to? When you have an exponent to an exponent, do you remember what you do? You multiply. So do you remember the rule with logarithms? What can you do if you have a logarithm of something to an exponent? And you can pull the exponent in the front and make it a multiplication. So you can take this in, and you can bring it to the front and make that n times log base a of u. You can pull this in the front, and you can make that n times ln of u. And that's helpful when we're solving some equations. Or when we're solving equations, it's helpful to put it back up there. So then we're just going to practice some breaking it up and then putting it back together. Some are pretty easy, some are a little crazy. Ready? I feel like I depressed you every day, man. super cool. It's just school in general. Maybe you should do Area 30 in the afternoon, so your morning you can kind of be happy and be happy at school. What do you do at Area 30? What do you do at Area 30? Is that what you want to do? Just go to college? You're going to college? So got more school then. They're the Precalculus? They're crazy. Like, they're just out of control and giggling and loving life and math. No, they at least talk some.
Yeah. I think I would rather be in that class. I have this class twice. Very similar people. English. Yeah. They're also reserved.
Down in the dumps.
I wouldn't say down in the dumps. It's like we talk, which I guess talk.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. How do you do that?
I know. And second hour, I can't get them to stop talking. Like, they're out of control. So I should have mixed it up. I'll go talk to guidance and see if I can, like, trade, like, 3 for 3 and see if we can.
You got Mason and Tyler in there?
I do. I had to separate them. And Aaron. And Cora. Zane.
I don't think Zane's so bad.
Well, Zane and Colin and Aaron tend to talk a lot. And Tyler and Philip always talk. And Mason just talks to himself because I already isolated him and he still keeps talking. He tried to sell me some of those pictures of himself that I found very inappropriate. He tried to sell me one without letting me see them. He's like, "You want to buy a picture? I'll autograph it for you." And I was like, "Let me see these pictures." "No, I can't show it to you until you buy one." And I was like, "I'm not buying a picture from you that I'm not seeing." And then I looked through them and I was like, "Mason, I think I could get in trouble if I bought one of these pictures." And he's like, "My sister took them." That's creepy. I'm recording all this. That's the best part. Oh, Mason. All right, expand means break up anything you see. If you see multiplication, break it up as addition. If you see division, break it up as subtraction. If you see an exponent, pull it out front. So on this one, it's just division, so we could break that up as subtraction. So I could make that log 3 of x minus log 3 of 9. Do you agree with me on that? But here's the extra step. If you can simplify something after you break it up, then I want you to simplify it. You can't simplify x, we don't know what x is. But look at this. Can we simplify log 3 of 9? What's the answer to log 3 of 9? 3 to the what equals 9? Just 2, right? So the answer that I would want here would be log 3 of x minus 2. So some people say, why would you want to break it apart? Well, sometimes you can simplify it and get a different answer out of it. So if you can simplify it, make sure you do that. Same thing on the second one over here. In second hour, someone wanted to pull this x out front first. You can't do that because that x doesn't go to everything in here. So step 1 on this is we want to break up that multiplication, and we could make that ln of x plus ln of e to the x. Agree with me on that one? And then what could I do here? We could pull the x in front. Ln of e is just 1, and even from here, ln of e to the x is just x. That was one of our properties. So I think the better answer on that one is ln of x plus x. Can I add that x plus x together? Ln of x is like one thing, and then plus x. I was trying to trick you. How do you feel about that? Overjoyed? Ecstatic is the word you would use? Okay, I'm going to skip number 7 for a minute, because we'll see if we'll come back to it. So I'm going to change my numbers and see if we can go the other way before we run out of time. So this is really number 7. So now, what if they have it separated already, and I want you to write as a single logarithm, which means you should only write log 1 time, and you should be able to put everything back together. Addition goes to multiplication, subtraction goes to division, and if you see a number in front, it has to go back as an exponent, right? It's like undoing the properties. So, can I put this 2 back up here? That would be like log 3 of u squared minus log 3 and I'm okay with that. But you got to put the numbers back as the exponent, and then subtraction is going to go to division. And the big thing I want you to get out of this is you only write log one time. You're not going to say log of u squared divided by log of b. You only write log once, and you just write u squared over b. So it's just this divided by this. On those problems, your answer should only have log written one time. How do you feel about that? Ready for a crazy one? My goodness. What? Maybe. Step one for me is if I see a number in front, I'm going to put that in as an exponent. So can I put this 8 in here as an exponent? So would that become log base 2 of the square root of 3x minus 2 to the 8th power? Because the 8 goes to the exponent. Yes, no, maybe. It looks kind of crazy, but can we simplify the square root of something to the 8th power? Square root's really what power? Half, right? Square root is a half power. So this would really be like saying 3x minus 2 to the 1/2 power to the 8th power, which means what power is that really? Just to the 4th power, right? You can take half. So the square root is kind of like half times 8. So that's really, my goodness. So really that's just log base 2 of 3x minus 2 to the 4th power. And then you tell me what you want to do. Do you want me to just rewrite all this? What does subtraction mean? What does addition mean? So can I put that all as one logarithm? So 3x minus 2 to the 4th divided by 4 over x times 4. The plus sign. If it was a minus sign, then it would all go in the bottom. So if it was minus minus, then it would all go in the bottom. Because it's a plus, that means it's multiplied out next to it. Does that make sense? Think I want you to leave it like that? Do we leave fractions in a fraction? How do we get rid of a fraction in a fraction? Can we just multiply by the reciprocal? So this is multiply this up, so would that be the same as times x over 4? That's the same as dividing by 4 over x. And then I still have that times 4 out there also. You with me on that? Maybe, kind of, sort of. Can I cancel those out? Do I have anything left in the bottom? No. Which means the simplified answer here would be log 2 of x times 3x minus 2 to the 4th power. Now, is that going to be a huge part of your homework? No. Could there maybe be one that makes you think like that? Maybe. But it's not always that. I just like to push you to the edge a little bit. Don't want you to jump, just push you there. This is 3-4. We'll do 3-5. 3-5 on your assignment sheet is in one day, but there's no way we're going to get to that in one day, so I've already broken that up for 2 days. But we should finish 3-6 next week, which means I think we should have a test next week. And then we'll start chapter 9 before Thanksgiving break. And then chapter 9 will be our last chapter. We're ready for finals, then we'll take a final. And then we'll do trade. So exciting. So be beginning homework is just a change of base. So you definitely need to calculate